Welcome back to episode 10 of Rise of the Machines, you beautiful people. And yet again we've run into another issue where we are not able to break through all of the clutter as quickly as we'd like to. So what I'm thinking, to actually start off, we get James, we send him over to the comms console, we get hold of the Polaris block, and off the back of them hopefully we can get some skill trainers for crafting. Because right now crafting seems to be the main issue for us, because that is what's slowing everything down. How are we doing on silver? A lot worse than I thought we were. Still got a bit of cloth, got some synthread, devil strand, and running low on hyperweave. Those things all come now. We can get talented smith trait releaser, which wouldn't be a bad thing to put onto someone. But crafting, they got two of them. Okay, we picked both of those up. That's 2,444, which obviously isn't amazing. We can sell off pretty much all of the guns. And that successfully made sweet all difference. Well, 1,200 odd. We'll also pick up another Polaris belt. That will be of normal quality, so that's going to actually offer us some decent protection. And now we're down to 1,500 silver. As for who really needs the skill trainers, well, I think that has to go on to Wilson. No, it's Afton, yeah. Afton double bend and passion plus an android. Let's see how much difference this makes. So he's 10.4 at the moment, 14.99, which means he's going to round off to 15 pretty quick. Francis, what were you doing? Nothing much. And what were you doing, Noah? Yet again, nothing too fancy. Wilson wasn't doing too much. Okay, we're going to bang the next one into Afton as well. And how are you looking here? Unfeeling's fine, and he's got the high-powered arms and legs. Soon, oh, actually I say that, this stuff all looks good to go. So who did we need to upgrade? You need a light left sensor. You need a left light sensor, so we'll put that into you. We'll unsuspend all of those so that can be upgraded. And I think that'll do for the moment. Just thinking, because the repair kit, well, the upgrade kit is in a different section to what we want it to be. It's slowing down all of the process. So we are going to bang in the upgrade kits into this section, along with the persona cores, which is going to make it easier to keep tabs on. And that's only Cataphract kit. I got excited then, I thought we had another Siegebreaker kit kicked out. That would have been quite nice. So unfortunately they're being put there. Can we haul them? Yes. So them being there, we're going to haul them into here, which means that people don't need to run in and out of this section. And defensively, we're starting to look all right. Still running a bit low on granite. That all needs to be moved. Need to put one more door into there, and then we've got a whole bunch of the heavy auto turret. And seeing as it generally pretty light things that run through this area, we should be right. Do need to start hunting down a whole bunch more mechanoid power cells. They are going to be actually really important, because power, we're doing okay. No, we're not. We were actually doing really badly on power. These turrets are 700 watts a piece. And we got 20 of them, which isn't a small amount. So obviously we need more power. We do have one cell in here already, which is going to be awesome. But the more of those we get, the more turrets we can have. And the more turrets we have, the more chance we have of surviving. Probably a bit of a risk, considering our success chance of actually, I call it tending to people. What do you need? One upgrade kit and one soldier implant. Success rate multiplier 80%, death chance on fail 10%. So that is not actually particularly high. And ooh, we got basic labor chip and power converter. So that will have to go into Afton. And that is just going to make him a lot better at doing the things that we need him to do. So we'll give you 2 light sensors, a voltage adapter, and a labor chip. Now, this is where we start getting the old androids into very, very powerful territory. So high-powered arms and legs on T4s is insane anyway. Francis hasn't died, so I'll count that as a win. And then on top of that, we've now got a bunch of things that increase their base stats. And with base stats increased, oh, A1 is just going to be a lot better. Now keep an eye on Afton, then we'll go over what his upgrades actually do. And what are we waiting on, Afton, buddy? One light sensor. What did you get? You got basic labor chip. Okay, so Labour speed plus 150%, smoothing speed plus 50%. I'll take that. You don't need a light sensor. And it says that we do have them. I guess we're waiting on upgrade kits. No, it ticked over. Turns out we are out of them. Okay, immediate raid coming in 12 hours from Hella. That's fine. That is just going to be industrials. What do they have? Numbers. Lots and lots of numbers. And their firepower is going to start to increase slowly. Very slowly, but they will... I'm not going to say they'll become dangerous because they won't get power armor. But they'll start ending up in like more flat kit. And we've already seen their special forces guys are rocking around an excellent kit. That stuff can be semi-difficult to deal with. This is now finally getting sorted. And, okay, Grant has been moved. Afton's just too busy over here. And James is a beast. And Afton's getting half decent. I wouldn't describe him as amazing, but he's better than he was, that is for sure. And Francis is on that as well. Now, your crafting kind of sucks. Your crafting's actually really, really bad. 2.8. We'll get him upgraded, and I think we'll also chuck in... So, okay, let's see what the neural highway does. Global work speed plus 40%. Melee dodge chance plus 30%. Movement speed plus 1. That is good. I like those. Soldier upgrade. Reload plus 25%. Melee cooldown minus 30%. Weapon handling 0.1. Aiming accuracy 2.5%. Hunting stealth, well, plus 25%, and suppressibility minus 500, plus with unfeeling, that's minus 1,000. He's not going to get suppressed anytime soon. I think we also put a basic labour chip into him as well, if we've got one left. Yes. And he eventually will get somewhere. Now, I'm missing... No, he's only missing a smell sensor and a hearing sensor. That shouldn't affect his combat skills too much. Just means he can't talk. And do you know what? I'm not too fussed about that. And just a standard old raid. 35 humies, a bunch of androids, and that there is another T4. Which means if this goes right, we can have one more T4 android running around for us as well. And just shooting up the map. Cool, we'll keep an eye, make sure they don't start tunnelling. Which looks like they want to do. Have we blocked somewhere off somewhere? Unless they've decided to count this as the base now. Which means we're going to need to put a bedroom in because the sappers... Well, basically everyone when they attack you will head towards the bedrooms. That's how the AI works. That's how to know where the base is. So maybe having this door here. We've changed the pathing a little bit. So let's go and deconstruct that just so we don't have this problem again in the future. Those guys coming in there are annoying, but we literally have the fences set up to deal with this, and then that just means we just reinforce this section. We're fine. They are finally through, which means they're running onto a flame turret, which just nuked the first one. A bunch of them catching fire, the rounds are going off. That's then going to explode, and the more of them go in there and the more of them go down, the more ammunition for the burn pit, means the more the fire's going to spread, means more things die. And the T4's at the front. This is a nightmare for them. Cool. Who's over here fighting? I got Wilson and Bruce. You both guys can go on draft. This is bad for them. Okay, Bruce, you go across this way. You'll be fine. Wilson, you go into the door. Francis, you move behind Wilson. Bruce, you get out of there. You're tough, but you're not invincible, and wow, yeah, you took a bit of a kicking. T2's not known for their toughness, and this is all filling full of smoke, which is going to knock a bunch of them out. And, well, they ain't wearing gas masks, and breathing in smoke is super bad for you. Joke being, the bit of the base that wasn't designed to be a kill zone turned out to be our best kill zone. Not a problem. And off the back of this, we now need to rebuild this area. So we know they're coming across there. So we'll reinforce all of this. Down to here, across. And might as well square that off. And also down here. Just for the reason that stops hives hiding in the corner. And when they hide in the corner, They're a bit more challenging to take down. Not massively, but annoying enough for it to be worth it. Once we get the granite, so actually I think we just grab Afton, send it down here and prioritise working on the stonecutters table. So this is 1 time speed. Francis is insane. And his crafting isn't even that amazing. Now it does have a few decent upgrades, but that shouldn't make a difference. But it looks like the neural highways and the basic labour chip combined make something insane. Because Afton has the basic labour chip and has the same upgrades, but doesn't nearly have the same scaling. So what have you got that is making you so redonkulously powerful? Cooling pump shouldn't make a massive thing. Heat sinks don't. Ah, there we go. Advanced battery pack plus 15% manipulation plus 15% moving. So that is really good. Advanced light sensors. Nothing there. So basically what we're taking from this is advanced battery packs with neural highways and basic labour chip is going to make a massive difference. You just have the basic labour chip. But Francis, who shouldn't be nearly as good as you, is actually better. So, down here, let's get you a soldier upgrade, neural highways. We'll give you your light sensor and a battery pack and a coolant pump. Okay, and that should mean Afton should just be able to absolutely carve through all of this stuff in the base. Not a good day to be you guys. I don't even think they have guns. Yeah. No, you guys are super done. Conway, I don't think you're going to make it, mate. And that club ain't going to save you. So we have the Manic Hive coming in. Close combat. No real AoE. Fairly quick. So they might actually get a little bit further than we'd like. But to be fair, this is just tier 1. So if they get through that, they still need to get through this. Now, I think these turrets are a good medium. Because the issue is, right, if we go and we start putting military turrets in, all that's going to happen is like centipedes or things in armour are just going to be able to wipe them out. So we're going to lose them almost all of the time. Okay, so obviously problematic. If we put big turrets out front, it does mean it would weed out the big things, but if we just get overrun by small things, then they're a waste of turrets as well. So I think these are just nicely in the middle. They're not too expensive. They do take a very long time to build, but our guys are getting better at that. So these are just working quite nicely. Now this section here will change because we're going to have to start putting in railguns and those big bad boys to help take down these swarms of centipedes, which will soon arrive, and then just start walking through this zone. We'll take a lot of them down, but we won't be able to take enough of them for it to really work as such. So, thin them out. This will stop most raids. And anything big will basically just be running onto EMP cannons, because big things that come through are either going to be robots, things in power armor, or centipedes. And EMPs are good against all of those. And then off the back of that, we'll have railguns. So instead of these cannons, we have railguns, but we still need the mechanoid power cells to be able to pull that off. This section here, I'm thinking about having a little play around with. So we're going to tunnel this area out. We're going to strip these out, put in braziers there, so if anything tunnels through this way, they'll end up on top of the turrets. We'll extend these walls out, reinforce across here, so then it is forced through that section, so they can't accidentally tunnel through. This is a whole bunch of dead space, which something needs to be done with. And I'm thinking maybe just some more walls. Just try and reinforce everything, because those thermal backgrounds can shoot through one of these reinforced walls per shot. And it doesn't take many shots to go through, and they can bypass a whole bunch of defences, or get in places that we don't want. One thermobaric pede shoots in there, takes this out, takes that out. It's in there. We're retreating back, and then if it shoots another round, it's then into this section. You know? Wouldn't be a massive issue, actually. But if they decide to hit the door, for whatever reason, then we would be in trouble. Also, annoyingly, The Mechanoids have built a weather controller, which is forcing the map to be covered in rain, which is super bad for when you're trying to record, because everything just looks like garbage. And I think we might actually have something for this. Now if we go security, no, we don't have it there. So factory. No. Okay, we're going to go and have to start researching nukes. Okay, we'll get rid of the M8. That's not really needed. You're not needed. Okay, we're going to start the research again. And what we're going to start with is nukes into medikits, into defenses, into the ship. And ship's still going to take a little while to make. We are doing well on resources, but the rest of the research should be finished by that point. And we don't need to launch the ship as soon as it's made either. We can see how long we can hold until things start going proper peak tong. Turns out, us being a Muppet, we do have the long range missile launcher ready. So it's already researched, so I'm thinking this place has been fairly safe. Let's see what the power on it is. Not saying. Fantastic. Okay, we'll build one. We should be able to power one, and then we can just nuke that weather controller, so that's not going to be an issue. And then off the back of that, we got to redo all of the research. We have sorted the research, so it's back to where it's meant to be. Just changed the order a little bit because of priorities. Only thing that we forgot was the manufacturing, which is the old cabinets. So that'll be the improved cabinet, mechanic cabinet, and a scientist cabinet, which is going to make us be able to produce things insanely quickly. So we've got some very powerful guys that can do things quickly, as you can see. Afton is now an absolute powerhouse, faster than James, which is actually nuts when you think about it. But yeah, going to be able to do a whole bunch of work super quickly. What's the power on this? Nothing. Let's aim the nuke. Okay, does not contain an object big enough to target. No. Oh, that sucks. We are going to have to go off and fight the Mechanoids. Then we can't really leave the base because this is Igor. And he'll just take the base out as soon as we leave. Okay, I need to go back to research and get on getting a dropship. So it's going to need to be the Alcatraz. Okay, this isn't annoying. A moment of truth. Will James go and kill Giles because that's a new T4 and got a bug raid in the middle of the base. Okay. This should be fine. It doesn't look like anyone's too far out of position. So gun line across here. Got another bunch of bugs coming from the top. Not a mass amount of them. And our military turrets. James has failed in a minor way whilst working on Giles. Of course he has. Why wouldn't he? Why would it work? It never works. Well, that's a lie, but we've lost more people to that operation than anything else. Once they come from the front, these turrets start paying for themselves very quickly. Didn't realise there's a rock there leaving that door open. And how far across can you shoot? Enough to keep them alive. Oh, Giles, mate, do you mind not going there? Okay, James, you move out of the way as well. You're tough, but you're not invincible. You guys go across there. These things are going to run onto the turrets and just die, so that's not a problem. I quite like this base. It works nicely. And he pulled it off. Okay, cool. So we now have Giles, who has the unfeeling trait, which actually turns out is super bad for the androids. But details, we can give him soldier implant, neural highways, high-powered legs, high-powered arms, labour chip, advanced power converter, 2 light sensors, a heat sink, give him some hearing sensors, cooling pump, and battery pack, which should take him up to pretty much good tier. What we're going to use him for? Crafting. Is he any good at crafting? Nope. He's got 1 in crafting, but a couple skill trainers and then leaving him to do it. He should be fine off that, and then we'll also set him to mining. Because, well, they kick out some resources, but it is not a crazy amount. It's a good amount, but not nearly enough for what we actually will be needing. So the scaling on this is super weird. So 35, well 34 now from the Mechanical March. Not fighting any of ours, are they? No, they're fighting some other robots. I'm in a bit of siege. Okay, actually we got our guys coming in. Who is it? Giles? Do you know what, buddy? I don't actually trust you. So you're going back in the base. Wilson, you can go back in the base as well. Because no point being out there, we're not going to gain anything. And you guys all man the mortars and we're just going to swarm them with shells. Well, use the swarm of shells. That should work out pretty well for us. Take those down, thin them out, and then they come and attack us, and that's, yet again, a whole bunch more chem fuel. And they don't have super speed this time, and our guys are going to be redonkulously quick. So close in the distance, and then we can just dismantle them, which is going to be sweet. And we have to figure out, well, we know how to get there. We've got to get like a ship or something, so we're making the Albatross at the moment. And that is going to take a while to build, which, well, to build we should be alright. It's just getting that research done, because, wow, that is a lot of research, unfortunately. And what's also unfortunate is we just lost a whole bunch of shells out of the map, and that one basically went into the mountain. I was looking, and we can build those artillery pieces that the Raiders had in one of the first episodes, which were like actually nuts. And I'm wondering, if you use one of those artillery pieces with the little swarm rounds, will we get more of the little critters come out of them? Because if we do, well, that would actually be awesome. Because we saw with the explosions were bigger, so maybe like the blast radius would count bigger for the swarm rounds, and therefore more swarmers would spawn. And to be fair, these guys are doing a little bit too well against our little bitey boys. So I think we go 3 times speed, wait until a couple of them bleed out, and then they come and attack us. Last 2 swarm rounds coming in. And we haven't achieved a massive amount. Well, robots are tougher than squidgy humies anyway, so harder to take down, and friendly fire isn't nearly as dangerous against them. But they should definitely be attacking, seeing as there is a 6 T1s, 3 T4s, some humans, they don't count, and then a bunch bleeding out. I think actually we just kind of leave them alone for a little while, let them run into their own troubles, and then off the back of that, if they do decide to start to siege us, well, we got a whole bunch of incendiary and high explosives that we can just drop straight on their noggins. Change of plan, we're just going to go in and shoot them. It's been like a day and a bit now, I think, so the next raid is going to be coming in not far behind this. Well, the issue is this time is not something that we have, because every 2 or 3 days we get attacked. So the longer attack goes on, the more chance of another attack coming in behind, and if anything goes wrong, well, we don't really have enough time to repair. Okay, come across here, cut them off. James, you come down this side. They can't shoot across because of the shield, and yeah, they're just running onto ghost rifles, which is super bad for them. It means we can also get back to our research. And more components, more plasteel. Yeah, I'm alright with that. You two... Oh yeah, they're the T2, so yeah, they're not as quick. Allow everything in this area. Allow all of that. That's going to be a nice amount of stuff. So is this. And Bruce, you're feeling brave, mate. Just run up and punch the psychic suppressor to death. Turns out not quick enough. Mech Hive Alpha is attacking in 12 hours. That's annoying. We literally only just destroyed the psychic suppressor. Going in, we're going to be able to get a bit of this, but time is going to turn around and bite us. Hopefully it's not a whole bunch of centipedes. What would be nice if it was just a massive cipher swarm, and I think that that is about the best that we're going to get out of this. We stay out there any longer and the centipedes come from this section, which they really enjoy to do. We are going to get people caught out in the open and lose them unnecessarily. We're also kicking out the mortar rounds. And James, where are you off to? Did I not put you in the home zone? No, you're in area 1, and that should not be outside of area 1. Okay. Draft you and then back. And also what we're going to do is we're going to copy the bill off here, which is for the nano swarms. And we can also produce them on this, which means that we should be able to get the numbers up fairly quickly on them, because, well, these guys are tearing through all the processing, So that means free time, and free time means more shells. 6 centipedes and a termite. 6 centipedes. Oh wait, that's 7 centipedes. No, it's 2 termites. Okay, that's why I was getting confused. But they have 3 infernopedes. So we're going to lose quite a lot. Now, mind you, these guys being there, that's going to absorb a couple rounds, which, good for us. Very bad for them. I'm going to be interested to see where the termites tried to tunnel through. I'm half tempted to try and drop a whole bunch of rounds on their heads. Do you know what? That's not a bad shout. Get back onto the turrets. And let's see if we can't try to just disrupt them a bit. Because, well, a termite that's allowed just to tunnel through the walls. That's super bad for us. That'd be really, really, really annoying. But these little critters, can you take down a pikeman? Not really, but you can keep it tied up, which means you can tie the centipedes up. And all we need is overwhelming numbers. And then the centipedes just end up shooting each other anyway. From a barrack piece going off. If that explodes properly, yeah, there's another centipede down. That's fine. Yep, that definitely is a lot cheaper than having to rebuild the base. Okay, that's dead as well. How are you holding up? Not amazing. And what is shooting across there? Somebody's trying to support each other. Cool. Still can't run out and fight them. That would actually be suicide. But if they're killing each other, that means just the last centipede that's left, well, it's just going to have all of its sight sensors ripped out. And with no sight sensors, it can't shoot. I think that is about the best we're going to get off those. Putting any more out there is going to be kind of pointless. And you're good there. And they're just loading up the turrets. Will they take down the centipede? They don't actually have enough armor penetration to get through. But left sight sensor, right sight sensor has been taken out. We'll take Bruce and Oscar and James, send them in, and then they can shoot them down. And we haven't really lost a massive amount of research time. But because they count as friendlies, we can't actually shoot over, so James has to get in super close. And that is an unconscious centipede, which means that we should be able to take it and bring it back to the base. 1 centipede left. Don't really have an angle on that one. We'll just leave that be. Centipede should eventually win, just because those things have like no armor penetration. But it's down to 22% and can't actually do anything. Kind of a bad way to go. With the research finished for the Alcatraz, I think that it's time that we start working on it. So right there is our landing spot. So all we need to go is floors, and let's go silver tile for effect. I swear it has shrunk though. I always thought that was bigger. That does look a lot smaller. Now the reason we're putting it here is we can put a door into this section. And so when all of this drops its cargo off, it can go straight into where it needs to be. So steel, slag, mechanoids go into there, corpses go into here. So we can start processing through it super quickly. Now talking about quickly, nearly everyone has a Siegebreaker helmet, which is mental. That was redonkulously quick, but then they don't take nearly as long as the actual Siegebreaker armor itself. So helmets super fast to make, Siegebreaker armor not so much. Off the back of that, what we also need to do whilst we're here, we don't want silver tile, we want steel. And let's floor this section as well. And I think that is a good place to wrap up the episode. So thank you very much for watching Rise of the Machines. I've been Conzi. All your likes, comments, sub support have been amazing. You guys are awesome, and I'll catch you on the next one.